How bad is this?
It's really starting to deteriorate. The longer this goes, it's really becoming a deep concern of ours. We're starting to see efficiency, capacity, and certainly safety is starting to erode.
All right, that guy runs the Air Traffic Association, those who monitor our skies, and he's saying that the pressure of going on without paychecks for the better part of a month now, and the anxiety around airlines and crowds is really compromising our safety. Now, he would say that as the head of air traffic controllers. I talked to another group that said they're just using this as an excuse, that things are really not that bad. Regardless, for 27 days now, we're stymied in the middle of all of this. So it is spreading with delays at airports, big companies saying that this is going to impact their bottom line. People who can't get loans for mortgages that are backed by the FHA or small businesses backed by the SBA. Former Bush 43 Deputy Assistant Brad Blakeman, Democratic Strategist Jessica Tarlov. Jessica, begin with you. Is it your sense that the longer this drags on, it doesn't matter who started it, both parties are going to pay dearly for not ending it?
I'm not sure that I would say pay dearly, but I think as long as 800,000 Americans are going out without a paycheck, they are looking to their leaders to say, we're trying to work out a solution here. We know that the polling shows that President Trump and the Republicans are bearing majority of the burden here, but as it continues and people can't pay their mortgages and they're having trouble paying for their children's daycare and all these things that Americans who live paycheck to paycheck are facing, there's going to be more frustration at the general body politic than just one figure, I think.
Though, Brad, to bring this, nationalize this out beyond the federal government workers clearly affected, as Jessica pointed out, I think it's going to hit a lot of average folks who are wondering, gee, I can't close on my loan.
Right.
I can't get a small business loan. I'm waiting longer at the airport because of fewer TSA workers or frustrated TSA workers. I don't like that. And I just think it seems to be mushrooming. So your sense?
I think the president has to hold to his word. Elections have consequences. He was elected on the fundamental promise to secure our borders. He cannot retreat on that. Democrats would love him to do so. He cannot do it. And I think the American people are starting to get a feel as to who's actually has more to blame. And that's with Nancy Pelosi disinviting the president to the State of the Union on the phony excuse that he cannot be protected or secured. That's crazy. So I think the more Democrats overreach, the worse it gets. But short-term pain will bring long-term responsibility.
Overreached by attaching the government staying open to this, that there might have been other ways, better ways to do it.
The president had no choice. Democrats did this last year. Guess what? On immigration, since 1977, they've done it 22 times. The longest shutdowns.
But are you going to feel that way, Brad, if a Democratic president were to come in and get just as obstinate about funding for something that he or she feels just as passionately? That whatever the merits are, I'm not here to judge the wall or the wisdom of doing it right now, that be careful what you wish for. You might get it.
Right, but we've got to make this the third rail. We've got to make this the last government shutdown that ever occurs. We've had 22 since 77.
It won't be
we
the
shouldn't
last.
have even had one.
It's not going to be the last.
No, it definitely isn't.
But let me ask you about that, Jess. I think that there is a feeling, no matter who started, who's to blame for it, if there is deemed resistance from Democrats to find a middle ground, and I know what you said about getting into this, that it's going to hurt them too. And I'm just wondering, is that enough to get both sides to the table?
Well, it seemed if you were listening to Steny Hoyer, who obviously holds an incredibly important position, that he was clearly deviating from Nancy Pelosi, who's saying not a dollar, not even a beaded curtain. And he said there obviously is room for compromise and that he didn't want to call the wall immoral. Now, that's a departure from the typical resistance talk about the wall. But to Brad's point here, and as you brought up, the president clearly bears the blame for this, and he was happy to take it on. This will not be the last government shutdown, but why Republicans cannot do what they already did weeks ago and vote for a bill to open the six or seven agencies that don't have to do with the border wall right now to make sure that we can fund the government through February 28th.
Why can't then Democrats, Jessica, do what they did before and approve wall funding or whatever you want to call it?
I know when they did
it with Barack Obama. They did 136 miles with Barack Obama. So the more you look at this, you realize there's more common, positioning here among both parties than either lets on.
Well, definitely, and we had the Gang of Six, we had the Gang of Eight. We know that there are compromises that are possible here, but Senate Democrats did appropriate billions of dollars for border security. Chuck Schumer's been clear about that. He also offered the president $1.6 billion to start all of this.
Chuck Schumer actually voted for wall funding under Barack Obama, as did Nancy Pelosi. So,
and under George W. Bush.
My only point on this is what made it so different and so divisive now for both parties to even find common ground when little more than, a year ago they had it.
Me again?
Yes, I'm sorry.
I think what made it more difficult started with President Trump's rhetoric about people who are coming across the southern border, calling Mexicans,
All right, so you're
criminals
still on
and
him.
rapists.
He's the embodiment of everything wrong, right? So
no, it's not everything wrong. It's just a majority, 99%. But he did start this all off with a lot of racist rhetoric.
You're a representative, and Brad, very respectfully, your position is representative of the no budging I see going on here, and maybe for perfectly justified, passionate reasons, but I don't see this getting solved anytime soon.
Well, Neil, we're not intransient. The president is at $5 billion. They're at 1.6. Somewhere there's got to be a compromise. The president can't negotiate against himself. It takes two parties. Now with divided government, it takes compromise.
You think he declares an emergency?
No, not anytime soon. I think this is going to go on, unfortunately, for a little while longer.
Jessica, if he declares an emergency, all bets off?
Well, if he declares an emergency, yes, I do think all bets are off. But then Republicans do need to be prepared for an emergency about climate change, about gun violence if we do win in 2020, which I'm hopeful about. And I just wanted to add, when we had a government shutdown, over $3.8 billion for health care, which every single American relies on, Republicans were completely fine about it. But border wall funding, $5.7 billion, $2 billion more, which the American public does not support overwhelmingly, not even a majority. Apparently, it's all Democrats' fault.
Because there's a need for it.
I do see
more than health care, Brad. What do you use on a daily basis? Your border wall or your health care there?
Well, you know what? If I lived on the border, my answer would be different.
It's math here. If you want to get beyond the passions and look at a few billion here, a few billion there, pretty soon you're talking some serious money.
Right.
So someone's got to just sit down, do the math on this, and get beyond just saying it's only a little here, a little here. All right, we got to pay for it.
Fair enough.
All right, fair enough. Good having all of you.